So we have a smaller audience today, I think because there's been a bit of a break. Many have forgotten that it's Thursdays and lunchtime lectures. But you have a good audience. People who matter are here. Thank you very much. Give Ethan a hand as it's your first lunchtime lecture.
Today in this lunchtime lecture, I'm going to be talking about why it does matter, and then also why it's not that important, actually. And so I assume most of you have seen an image like this before of the food pyramid. You have carbs, fiber, protein, fat, or maybe some more complicated version. And the food pyramid isn't actually very factual or based on much dietary evidence because it was based off of British World War II food propaganda. But it can also been taught as a sort of guide to healthy eating. Recent sort of studies and observations have shown that this isn't quite accurate. People nowadays prioritize protein and fiber over carbs and are trying to reduce their amount of carbs, as you can see in a lot of recipes for healthy eating lately. And one of those trends was the eat only these 3 things or eat only these 5 things, and they tell you only eat tofu or quinoa and broccoli or whatever. And most of these predatory diets work basically off of the fact that most people, a lot of people eat something that they're allergic to without knowing it, and they unknowingly cut it out with these diets. So most of those diets don't really work, and neither does the food pyramid. And diets in general also don't really work because of their rigid nature, and we as humans aren't very rigid. We change, our preferences change, but diets don't, and so most of the time we just give up halfway through on diets. So instead of doing a specific diet, it's typically more healthy to just have a generally improved eating habit. And we'll talk about that later. The most important part about eating healthy is having a healthy relationship with food. And what a healthy relationship with food means, it doesn't mean just only eat these things or don't eat unhealthy things. It means eating in a manner which is beneficial to you. It means it means more than not eating too much and eating too little, because some people have a bad food relationship, which would entail eating every time they're stressed. And the problem isn't that they're eating too much, it's that when they eat, they don't go to a healthy place to eat. And I'm not talking about healthy restaurants, I'm talking about psychological places. They're not cooking at home, they're going for what's easy, what they can do, and stuff like that. And eating too little is also part of a healthy food relationship, because people will starve themselves, and that's not good either. And this connects to my next point about moderation in moderation. Everything you eat has to be moderated, depending on different amounts, but you also have to moderate the moderation, or else you're not going to be happy with eating what you're eating, right? So you can't just cut out all the good tasting stuff just because it's unhealthy. It's okay to have a bag of crisps as a snack. It's okay to eat chocolate sometimes. But instead of having a regular bag of crisps, maybe you could do oven baked, so there's less fat, and have darker chocolate instead of milk chocolate. And this connects to my final point about making healthy eating fun. If you're able to do this, you won't have any of the problems with a healthy food relationship, and you won't even need to think about moderating your moderation. Now, making healthy eating fun isn't just putting unhealthy stuff in healthy stuff. It's not taking a fruit salad and putting chocolate chips in it. It's about taking foods that are healthy and making them actually, be fun to eat, taste good. Using spices, using olive oil to add flavor. Sometimes it is about adding chocolate chips to your fruit salad. And one of the recipes that I'm about to show you, is one that I came up with to make healthy eating fun. for breakfast. It's a tiramisu overnight oats recipe, and I eat it nearly every day, and I'm feeling pretty great. This recipe is super high in fiber because it's full of oats, which is mostly fiber. It's got a lot of protein in it, and it doesn't have very much sugar in it, but it's not bland and terrible tasting. Here is the list of ingredients. If anyone is interested, I will send like a recipe thing to you after this. Unfortunately, I was unable to print it out due to complications with the school printer. So 1 cup of oats, 3 tablespoons of unsweetened cacao powder. This is just basic cacao powder, nothing added in. It's just 2 tablespoons of chia seeds. If you're not familiar with chia seeds, they kind of look like sesame seeds, except that they swell up into a gel when you add water to them. They're not that tasty on their own, but when added to other stuff, it adds a lot of fibers and it just makes it really healthy overall. 3 tablespoons of espresso, because it is tiramisu oats and we do need to wake up in the morning. 1.5 cups of any milk you like. You can use regular milk, you can use low-fat, lactose-free, vegan milk, whatever. 2.5 tablespoons of maple. This is to make it taste good. Vanilla, same thing as the maple. And Greek yogurt to, add some creaminess. Now, the first step of the recipe, at the beginning, you add the chia seeds, cacao powder, oats, and a pinch of salt into a bowl mix. I had my own photos prepared. However, I realized last second that I did not send them to my laptop, so these are not my photos. So there might be some discrepancies. Then you add the wet ingredients and you mix it up. And now this step is optional, but I find that it improves the texture and overall quality of the dish a lot. You blend it with a hand blender or a regular blender a little, but not like completely. You still make it so there's still some chunks of oats left. Chunks is not a very nice word to use when describing a recipe, but I find that this makes it a lot better. Then you transfer the oats into a container and leave it in the fridge overnight. You can also leave it more time, but I find that if you leave the oats too long in the fridge, they become a little bit sour because of the chia seeds. So the recipe will last like 5 days to a week. Then in a new bowl, you take the Greek yogurt and you mix it with the rest of the vanilla and some maple. This is kind of like the mascarpone in a tiramisu. It adds the cream and good tasting part. Unfortunately for the yogurt, you can't use low-fat yogurt or coconut yogurt. I find that Greek yogurt is really the only thing that works as a substitute for the mascarpone, so you can't reduce the fat here. Then you assemble everything, not like this. You can just do it in a bowl where you put the oats themselves in the bowl and you put the yogurt on top. And what I like to do is I dust it with extra cacao powder on top so it looks more like tiramisu, and it adds a bit of extra sort of rich chocolatey flavor. And then you can just eat it because it's breakfast. Now, are there any questions about the recipe substitutions? Yeah?
Why can you not use low-fat yogurt?
It doesn't taste good. It's yogurt, it's low-fat yogurt. It just doesn't, it's not thick enough. You just like sort of pouring a watery substance on top of your oats and it doesn't make it very appealing. It doesn't make it look like this very nice. Yeah?
Why can't you use mascarpone?
Because mascarpone, this is a healthy recipe, and mascarpone is delicious, and I would never ever use yogurt in an actual tiramisu. You are going to be eating this for breakfast every day if you make it.
Alright. Spoonful of mascarpone.
Rich. It might be a bit too much to eat mascarpone every day for breakfast. It's super filling. It's full of, I already mentioned that it's full of fiber and protein. This is really one of the things that helped me hit my 30 grams of fiber a day. I don't remember the specifics, but I think like a small bowl just has like 15 grams of fiber already, which is really high for breakfast. This is the end of the recipe.
Any questions?
About general healthy eating, general healthy food relationships.
Question about you. Do you often cook otherwise too? Do you often cook otherwise too?
Yes, I love to cook, and it's one of my passions, cooking, and I cook all the time. Nikita and Paul can attest to this, as I recently cooked them a very nice Mexican dinner. And really, I hope to maybe write a recipe book someday or something. If I do, this will be in it.
Any other questions? Awesome. So we look forward then to your next pizza recipe lunchtime lecture with some, samples, healthy pizza. Of course.
Next time I make a lunchtime lecture about food, I will bring samples. Mark my
Right.
words.
Well, that's all.
Yeah.